okay, I want to give an update. Am I not? I need to go back a little bit. Okay. About my bikepacking tour. So this is going to be more like a coffee talk without a coffee. Also for me kind of to remember what this is all about and also take you on a journey with me while recovering from burnout, dealing with being a late diagnosed ADHD person, finding new ways to manage my energy and kind of rebuild my life or my day-to-day basically. You can see still in the background, it's still there. That is equipment that has arrived. Okay, so I also thought before that I'm totally script this, make bullet points and everything to have it structured and have you, follow along, engaged, wanting to listen more. But I found that it was another rabbit hole to create the perfect prompt, to feed in all the information about the ideal client, you, or what means ideal client? The person I want to attract and I want to help build or rebuild their life as well with. So I kind of stopped it now after an hour of playing around with that. Now I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm going to reverse engineer it. So I'm going to take this video when I'm done, then I have it transcribed, and then I have AI kind of summarize it, give me more points of what is interesting for you, what could be a nice angle for you, and then I can improve every time a little bit more. So this is about bringing you up to speed about my bikepacking adventure. As you know, I'm also, or as you might know, I wanted or still want to get a van and then travel around with a van, really embrace that feeling of freedom, and also have like a week on wheels for other people to join me in the van. But that project obviously needs more funds. And at the moment I'm thinking, okay, before I'm putting that on me to generate these funds quickly or save them as much as I can, I want to do bikepacking. I don't know what was the initial spark that kind of made me want to do it, but what I think is important to me right now is that I can reconnect with myself and I get my self-confidence up again, and I can do that by finding projects and implementing them very quickly. So when you're building a business, I don't know, you might be familiar with that, is that you start overthinking, you start being worried about what you should do, what could go wrong especially, and that kind of keeps you stuck in a place which after some time really is uncomfortable. So with this, I wanted to get myself out of this uncomfortable place because during the years I needed to recover, it never really left me alone that I should be further along, that I already should be having tons of clients, that I should be more efficient, that I should be more productive, more professional, more whatever, name it. So at some point I realized I really needed a break because after all, I really hope you can still hear me because the neighbors are out. Also test, I guess. So what I wanted to know is what will be the right way to recharge myself and also to shut up these voices. I firmly believe in healing, coaching, this really going into the inside and your emotions to heal, but it's very hard to do it for yourself. So I needed to find different ways to do that. I really should stop and check if you can actually hear me. Anyways, let's just keep going, practice. And now I thought growth happens out of the comfort zone. So I wanted to willingly, purposefully get myself into a into a discomfort. I also realized that I actually look for discomfort to feel myself. And I like to go to CrossFit, which is quite intense. I do weightlifting, and that really helps me to feel my body. So I was thinking, let's go bikepacking. That will probably be very uncomfortable, very much about lack of sleep, lack of energy, being cold or hot. Like really the basic physical needs. I'm really worried about the background noise. I have the mic here, so maybe it helps. Besides that, it's very distracting and my brain goes there all the time. Anyhow, trying to stay on track without notes. So then I had this idea and I started researching how it actually goes. I think the initial idea was I could visit my mother up in Bremerhaven. Actually, both my mothers, I have two. And that's like 500 kilometers, I think, or 600. And then I realized, oh, that is quite a bit, and I would have to plan several days to get there. So then it came to bikepacking. It came to I need the bags and the saddlebag, the front bag. Then I thought if I'm longer around, I still want to be able to edit videos, to talk to you, to refine my ideas. So then I figured, oh, I need a bag where actually I can fit in a laptop. That is a completely different story. Maybe I record another video about this. Oh, how long it took to find it, but in the end I persevered and I found a bag from Brooks which actually holds a 13-inch laptop, so that's great. Initially I didn't want to buy a new bike, but I did buy a new bike. So I have a tent which I researched forever already before. Now there's an airplane or two of them coming. This is a real test for the mic. I mean, seriously, it's so loud. I don't know if I have the noise cancelling on here. So this is like totally bare bones, right? I didn't prep this. Maybe that's also a good thing, just to see, you know, like I'm doing this because I want to get into a habit of sharing this with you so you can see how it is and not say, oh, I can't record because it's so loud, or you know, whatever, or I'm distracted, or I don't have a call to action, I don't have an outline, I should, you know, trash the whole thing. No, I'm recording it, rambling, and this is how I do it. Maybe also to give like permission to myself and to show you what it looks like just to do it. And I don't know, probably you can see the views under the video and you'll see no one is actually watching, but I can actually tell myself I did it. It's really loud, like very loud. Very loud. I can see the tires of the plane. Yeah, I'm in Frankfurt, so I guess at this time they're just flying over here. And this is the ADHD, right? You go back and forth, different topics, I guess. So bikepacking is my choice to get into the discomfort and really make it only about these basic needs. That's what I would like to focus on. And when I'm on the bike, there is nothing. So anyhow, I then bought a tent, which I back then researched. I researched also a sleeping bag, and I was so happy that I could get going because I've researched it already before when I was thinking about the camper, the van, and I know that I researched quite a lot, so this time it was super quick. I just bought what I had researched. That made me feel really good about having spent that time beforehand. You know, sometimes you end up in a rabbit hole and you feel like, oh, that is such a waste of time because you don't need it right now. Anyone? So I was very happy that I did. Then I bought some other random stuff. I dove into YouTube and what have you. I spent so much. I invested so much time into like really getting a good understanding of what it could look like for me. Watched videos about people testing gear, about people who have been doing bikepacking forever. you know, when you want to learn something, you go to the people who have done what you want to do, right? So whether you're looking for someone who teach you something in your business, or if you're having a new project for yourself, you turn to people who know how it's done. I did that. Saved me so much time. And I also checked out the people who were traveling and documented it, so I had somewhat of a feeling what it feels like to travel, because my brain went back to let's go 2,000 kilometers, and I still want to do that, but you don't jump from 0 to 100 in one jump, right? Also, when you're building a business, you don't do that. And I always had a hard time to start things when I did my workshops or my coaching or the different kinds of workshops I was doing. And I crafted them so, you know, they were perfect. And because I really didn't want to go like and sell something that was just done quick and dirty. That just doesn't align with me. But now I remembered, yeah, I have to do tiny steps anyhow. So I don't have to do it at half-ass, you know, but the project itself, very loud again, can see the tires again, like a small project can be done high quality. So it's actually similar to when you're pricing, right? People say, oh yeah, your services are too expensive. And then worst case, you start, you know, decreasing the price. But you still provide the same service in hopes that you will still get that client. What I do is I reduce the scope. I keep my quality high, I keep the price the same, but the scope I can reduce, and that reduces the price. And that's the same with bikepacking. If I just go without the tent, you know, it's less rough, I guess, and I'm in a hostel or in a hotel, I don't need to pack that gear. Or if I decide I won't cook on campsite, I don't have to take the cooking gear. So the scope is a little bit smaller, and then I don't need to invest in all the equipment. And then comes the testing. So I don't go these 1,000 kilometers, which I've planned, which I'll take you with me, and this is why I'm practicing this whole thing. Because first I tested 40 kilometers from here to Mainz. I did that already. Oh, before that, I also tested sleeping here on my bivvy. I put that on my Instagram account. So that was really, really interesting. And so I tested my equipment, I tested my fitness, because usually I did only like, I don't know, max 10 kilometers when I go to one place here in town and back. More frequent is like 4 kilometers. So not long at all. I'm not a cyclist. I really do CrossFit and weightlifting for health reasons. And so I tested Mainz. I wrote everything down, what I learned. It was very exciting. And then I drove from here to Aschaffenburg and back, which I did yesterday. So I went 57 kilometers one way, had a wonderful cake, strawberry cake from a friend. And after, I think, 3 hours, I went back, took a different route to test out the Garmin, to test out the navigating, to test out, you know, how comfortable am I following this device and not using Google Maps, which I was used to. So testing that as well. I also bought some fruit bars or oat bars to figure out if, you know, how much do I have to eat. I put an alarm in my Garmin, and I had a backpack. Everybody says don't take a backpack, but when I cycle, I always had a backpack when I was going to work, and the backpack was already like, the backpack itself 2 kilos. Then when I was going shopping or whatever, I would have like up to 5 kilos, and if, or even up to 30 kilos on my backpack when I was shopping groceries, especially like when I had my oat milks and all the liquids. That was quite heavy. So I'm quite used to having something on my shoulders, not for 100 kilometers a day, mind you, but I only had like a water bladder from hiking, which I had from, I don't know, 10 years ago, and I could still use it. That worked out really, really well. So that was, again, you know, the ease of just and curiosity to test out things. And here the analogy for us building a business as well, it's like hey, you can do it in this way. Me, like, while bikepacking, just testing out like an oat bar. How about you? Can you test out something new in your business, a new approach? And also, can you make bigger goals smaller? Like, for me, it's so hard to make it smaller because I want the whole thing to be so perfect. But I'm learning now through this bikepacking project that it's actually so much easier, and it's intuitively I'm doing step by step. So by sharing this with you, I also want to encourage you and to inspire you to look for incidents where something already goes very well, comes intuitively, and you've been wondering, why can I do it in this way so intuitively? But when I want to apply it to my business, I'm all over and I'm under so much pressure. So look for one of these things, and or maybe when you see me practicing this bikepacking thing, maybe it rings a bell and then you can use it for yourself as well. So I think now I got you up to speed. I have all the equipment, and as I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm going to revisit the script of this, the transcript of this video, and then make smaller snippets of each topics, just to, you know, help you overcome the fear of failure or the fear of success. You know, what if I make it? These 2,000 kilometers, will then be all the magic gone and I'll just stop? I mean, I just bought a new bike, which is amazing, but it costs money, right? And all this gear. What if suddenly in 2 months everything is over and I feel like I don't want to do anything with it anymore? So that will be also, that will suck. But that could be the fear of success, right? Suddenly you're successful, you did it, yay. And then, no, what? So better don't start, because then you have this dream you can chase. That for me happened with a van. I've been chasing that dream for I don't know how long. Way back when I was still in high school and just before graduation, we had the idea to go somewhere with a van. And funny thing, I said, okay, let's do it. Somewhere there was a van at the road. People, I remember now, they were saying they were going to Finland, so they had underneath already, like against the salt, some protection. It was white, and I bought it. I sold my old car, I bought that one. Then the parents of the other ones, they helped us equip this thing, and 3 of us, we drove to Spain with that thing. Like, and this is, you know, me re-tapping back into this curiosity and this can-do and this, it's possible. I mean, just do it. But in some areas of our lives, it's just so hard. And now I want to create a new area, a project of mine, where it comes to me easy. I want to inspire you with that, so you open your eyes to things that could be easy for you, where you can draw, you know, you can draw your motivation and hope, you know, and confidence. So I think that would be really nice. And also, my dream would be to inspire you to see that a total change is possible. Because a couple of, I think about 2.5 years, I struggled with burnout. Also some months with depression, panic attacks, anxiety. I think the depression part was the hardest. I will never, ever suggest anyone who's feeling really low, just like, hey, watch a movie, the sun is out, you know, let's go out. It's like, no, people don't want to hear it. I have so much more understanding now for that. So I am pretty good at finding the positive in my experiences. So, and now the positive is that, yeah, you have to dig yourself out of this hole you fell in. I did that. I am now changing from a corporate job where I worked as a CEO within, like, for what is it called? A subsidiary for a hospital. And I really, really enjoyed that. It was feeding my ADHD, you know, there was always something to do. There were so many people who wanted something, so many tasks and projects, that was bliss. But it kind of got me into burnout because I didn't know how to self-regulate. I didn't know how to cope or actually recognize that my batteries were empty, because it was just such a thrill to solve all these problems. And then came the realization that my migraines just wouldn't leave. Not my migraine, the migraines wouldn't leave, trying to watch my language, because when you're in pain 4 days out of the week, I was at some point really scared that I wouldn't be able to work at all. And just recently, I think like 2 weeks ago, I started with acupuncture. And oh my God, I'm so happy, because the pain, the migraines, actually, I didn't have one now for, I think, 2 weeks. I tell you, in the last 3 years, I've had migraines almost weekly, and sometimes maybe shorter ones, just like 2 days or 3 days. And really, no, 3 was a longer one. Or I had like 3 or 4 days, but not so painful. But either way, either short and very painful, or somewhat painful but very long, like not able to work, like just vegging on the couch and hoping for it to be over. And that's gone for 2 weeks. I mean, it's so great. And it kind of comes at the same time where I'm starting this backpacking. So it's really like, come on, positivity. What you put out there will come back to you. And if you focus on the negativity, I believe that negative things will happen to you. I have had, again and again, amazing experiences where I could really say, yes, good things happen to me because I expected them. I kind of sent it out to the universe, and it happened. I won this trip to Finland from, I think there were like 20,000 applicants, and there were 12 of us who won. I was one of them. So amazing. And also now I have this break where I can reorganize everything, and really it's like a reboot for myself. Okay, so this is now 22 minutes. Talking head. I tried to make it interesting with green and green. I usually don't wear these glasses because I need to look here because the camera is so short. If I look here, it's far. That was also a new thing. My eyes got so bad. Also, another thing, I gained so much weight because of the migraines, not much sport, not much this and that. I think 12 kilos. I want to get rid of that, so doing that as well. Yeah, so I will see how I can prep this content for you so that it's interesting for you to come on a journey with me, have me talking in the background somewhere, and also record a day by day, like a vlog, what was going on in my mind, and I hope that inspires you. So if you made it to here, also, if this was too long, just put it on double speed, I was told by this needle acupuncture guy, breathe more deeply, talk slower, walk slower. Yeah, I'll try. But for your convenience, do it in double speed. And I can't wait to see if actually someone watched it till the end. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me.